So for today's video, we're going to be talking about plants that are currently on the struggle bus, so to speak. And you guys actually asked for this video. It's been requested by a few of you. You really are a bloodthirsty lot. So today I'm going to be showing you some of the plants that are maybe not doing so well in my collection. And yeah, I know you guys like to see this so you can kind of feel better about your own failures. And failures in plants is really, really normal. It's normal in life too. Failing is how we learn, and yet we all have them. So don't worry if you have a struggle plant or two, or even a few more than that. As you'll see, I have a few to show you today. So I hope this makes you feel kind of better about your own struggling plants, because it really does happen to us all, I promise you. So the first one I'm going to show you, this is kind of sad because I really love this plant and it was a wish list plant. This is the Hoya callistophylla, and you'll see that it's got some really unhealthy leaves. It's looking really terrible. It's just gradually been losing its leaves. They're going all kind of mushy and yellow, and I'm assuming it's probably root rot because it does look to be root rot. It still has a few healthy leaves at the moment, but yeah, I mean, I haven't actually taken it out of the pot, but I'm pretty sure it's root rot because this one here, in fact, it's just going to come off there. I'll show you, you see how it's kind of gone all brown and mushy. Pretty good indication of root rot, that is. And the weird thing is, I don't really think I did anything particularly wrong, or at least I didn't feel like I had. I didn't think I was overwatering it. I'm not entirely sure how it happened. I mean, obviously it's happened, so I must have done something, but I was treating it the same as my other Hoyas. I was giving it plenty of light. I was making sure I let it dry out in between waterings. So I'm not entirely sure what happened with this plant, but yeah, it's just looking so sad, and it's lost nearly all its leaves, and yeah, it's definitely going to lose all of them because they've all started to go. So I could try to take maybe a couple of cuttings from it because there are a few little bits here still. So I may take some cuttings, but the problem is we're kind of in the middle of autumn at the moment, and so I don't tend to have a great deal of success personally with propagating at this time of year. I may give it a go anyway, but it's unlikely that it's going to be successful. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's not that I didn't give this plant care or I didn't look after it like I thought it needed. I really did take good care of it. I thought I did my best for it, and this is what's happened. And yeah, it's just slowly declining. So you can see there's kind of a vine there that I could potentially take a couple of cuttings from. I may do that and see if I can save it. But you know what, if I can't save it, it's not the end of the world. These things happen, like I say. I don't tend to get sad about plants when they go. It's not because I don't care about the plant. I do give all my plants really good care, but sometimes nature just finds a way, so to speak. You know, sometimes a plant just isn't going to survive for whatever reason, even though you've done your best. And that's okay. It's okay to just let go. I will just let go of this plant. I'll definitely do that, take a couple of cuttings and see if I can save it. But yeah, I don't normally get a huge amount of success this time of year. So maybe I would try this plant again in the future. It's actually one that I really would like to grow. So I'd definitely try it again for sure if I was to find another specimen at a later date. So I won't let this put me off getting this plant in particular. Sometimes it's just the specimen in particular that you've bought that fails. It might not be the plant. So don't let one failure put you off trying again with a plant. You never know what could have happened. This plant might have been particularly stressed. There's all sorts of things that can happen. So don't let that put you off if it's a plant you'd really like to try again. This is definitely a plant I'd like to try again. So I will be trying it again one day. But yeah, that one's not going so well at the moment, so we'll put that to one side and I'll see if I can save it, and I'll keep you posted on that as well. So next we have quite a surprising one. This is my Aglaonema Red Joy, and if I show you that lower leaf there, you can see they've all just been slowly dying off. And some of them had some sort of brown spots on them. And I do wonder if maybe it had some sort of fungal thing going on. But the weird thing is, Aglaonemas in general I find really easy. So why this one has decided to decline so rapidly, I don't know. I can't, is there any new growth coming out of there? Can't see any at the moment. Again, I could potentially take a cutting because I do see a little aerial root there. So what I might do with this one, same as with the other one I just showed you, is take a little cutting. But yeah, it's nearly lost all its leaves. It's got another one going there. It's just been kind of rapidly going downhill. Does it have root rot? Maybe. I haven't actually taken this one out of the pot, but I suppose I should do that to just check if it does have root rot. But yeah, I was quite surprised by this one, I have to say, because Aglaonemas for me are generally really easy plants. So for this one to go downhill, I don't really know why. I don't see any pests. I've treated it for pests just in case. I do wonder if maybe it was a fungal thing or something, but you know, I don't know. Maybe it was just a weak specimen. I mean, that leaf there, it's got two leaves that still look quite nice, but they've just been rapidly dying off. So I may remove that lower leaf and just, if you see there, you can see there's an aerial root. So I could take a little cutting there and then see if I can grow this back. It's funny because I have really bad luck with kind of pink plants. I don't seem to be able to grow them. They seem to attract pests really easy. Not so much this one, but I find pink syngoniums can be a little bit difficult to grow because they attract a lot of pests. And I don't know, they just don't seem to do very well. And I don't know what's going on with this one, whether this is just a fluke. Maybe it's just, again, it could just be the specimen in particular that isn't very strong, but I don't seem to do very well with the really red Aglaonemas. But yeah, that's another one that's not doing so well, and you know, it is what it is. Would I try this one again? I guess I probably would, yes. Maybe I'd try to look for a little bit of a bigger specimen. This was really all there was available. You can't seem to get this one in a large kind of really established plant. Maybe it's got something to do with the substrate. Maybe I should have repotted it a bit sooner. I don't know. But yeah, it's just not doing well, and I think I'll put that in the propagation pile and see if I can save it. Again, I'm not too sure because personally I just don't get much success with propagating this time of year. I get a lot of success in spring, summer, but yeah, this time of year I don't tend to get much success. But I'll give it a go anyway, pop it in some water and see what happens. But yeah, that's another one. So just got to chalk it up to experience, haven't we? Okay, so the next one, sadly, is this one. This is the Peperomia. I'll put the full name on screen, but this one has just slowly been losing its leaves. You can see that. There's another one just falling out. And yeah, it's just not doing well. And again, I'm normally really good with Peperomias these days. My other Peperomias are doing fine. This one though is just, it's just struggled right from the start. It was kind of really beautiful and full and healthy for about a week probably when I first got it. And then it just started, the leaves have just been coming off like this. I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah, I've given it the same care as my other Peperomias. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe this is a Peperomia that needs different care. I don't know. Maybe it's just a particularly tricky Peperomia, but it's not doing well for me. And I've got to say I probably wouldn't buy it again because these ones do come in lots of different beautiful colours, and I've seen them around when I've been out, and I've thought to myself I won't be buying one of these again because, you know, I don't seem to be doing very well with it right now. So I probably wouldn't buy this one again. I'm not really sure whether I've got the care right. Maybe it needs something else compared to my other Peperomias. I don't know. I do really like it, so it is a shame. But yeah, I probably wouldn't take another one on just because I'm not very confident that I've done well with this one. So, I mean, will it survive? I don't think it will because it's just, yeah, the leaves are just coming off one by one, and I don't think it's going to survive. I think this might be one to just throw in the bin because it's not going to be easy to propagate, and yeah, it may be just one for the bin, this one, sadly. Sometimes you've got to throw a plant away, it's okay. But if any of you guys have experience with these types of peperomias, definitely let me know in the comments, because I would be really interested to know what your experiences are. Maybe I'll kind of learn what maybe I did wrong, I don't know. But yeah, I think that one's going to go in the bin. I've kind of just been waiting because I think, well, maybe it will recover, but yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. It's literally just losing leaf after leaf, and yeah, I don't really know why. I guess it must be a care thing. Again, I should probably take it out and see if it has root rot, but yeah, this one's just not doing so well. So yeah, that one's in the failure pile right now. Okay, next we have my Alocasia jacklyn. Now, with this one, I don't think I actually did anything wrong care-wise, but I did do something wrong. And what I did was, I chose to order a very small baby Alocasia in autumn winter, and that was a big risk because it's not a well-established plant. It had to travel through the mail, then it had to try and survive, and yeah, it just didn't. And I bought another load of Alocasias too, but those were more well-established ones, bigger ones, and they have survived just fine. So I think the mistake I made here was I bought a really small baby Alocasia at the wrong time of year, and I am going to keep it because you never know, it might grow back in spring. But yeah, it was a risk, and I knew it was a risk to buy a very small Alocasia at this time of year. It was probably a bit silly to do it, but it wasn't expensive and I decided to give it a go. Would I try this plant again? Absolutely yes. This was just me being stupid, really, buying it at the wrong time of year. If I'd have bought a more established plant, I think it would have survived. So my advice would be, if you're going to buy Alocasias, try and buy a bigger specimen if you can. You don't have to buy a huge one, but you can probably see behind me I've got another bunch of Alocasias. They were all more established. They're not huge, but they're way more established than this one was, and they are all doing just fine. They're really strong and healthy, and I think they're going to get through the autumn-winter period. But yeah, it's just a silly thing to do to buy such a small plant at this time of year, and that's on me. But I definitely will get this plant again, and I will see if this one will grow back in spring too. So watch this space and we'll see what happens with that one. Next one is a plant that I bought sometime last year. This one was really big when I bought it. This is, well, it's known as Philodendron funbun, but it's also been reclassified as a thaumatophyllum, but we'll call it Philodendron funbun. But this one had really big leaves, and it was a real mystery to me because it just lost all its leaves. They all went yellow, and I thought, well, of course, first thing to think is it's probably got root rot. So I did take it out of the pot and I checked, and no root rot, nothing was wrong with it. It had perfectly healthy roots, and you can see it's still growing. It's got new growth coming, so it is growing. But yeah, it just doesn't seem to grow very well for me, and I'm not really sure why. But yeah, I checked it for root rot, didn't have any root rot, didn't have any pests. It may have a couple of spider mites now, but that's a new thing, so that's another challenge. But yeah, for whatever reason, this one just hasn't grown very well for me, and this is definitely one that I'm going to continue with. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to see what happens because it is still actively growing, and I would like to see if it will take off. It has lots of healthy growth, so I'm not going to give up on this one, but it's just been one that hasn't really gone smoothly for me. And yeah, it was just so big and beautiful when I bought it, and I thought it was going to be a really easy plant, but it wasn't. And yeah, I'm not really sure why. I did have it in the middle of kind of summer, so it was a period when it would have been kind of ideal conditions for it. But yeah, for some reason it's just not done very well. But I'm going to persevere with it and see what happens next year. See what happens with another growing season. Maybe it will take off, but yeah, no big deal. It is what it is. We will see what happens with that one. Next one is, sadly, this Philodendron burle marx has slowly been losing its leaves. They've all been going yellow and they've just been falling off. And I did actually pop it out of the pot yesterday to check, and yes, it does have root rot, and to be honest with you, I kind of knew that it had root rot. Again, I didn't give this one bad care or anything, it's just happened that way. And yeah, it is what it is. I definitely got a bit of an opportunity to take some cuttings on this one, so I think I'm going to put it in the pile with the other ones to take some cuttings. But yeah, sometimes root rot happens, sometimes you do your best and it still happens, and honestly, you know, that's okay, it happens now and again. Don't worry if it happens to you, it's just one of those things. But yeah, kind of sad about that because it was a wish list plant, but I'm going to take some cuttings and see if I can save this one. But if I can't, then it's just one of those things, isn't it? No big deal. But yeah, sometimes root rot can strike. You can see there, if I show you, you should be able to see the leaves have started yellowing off. They've just been all rapidly yellowing off. That one's probably going to just come off there. But yeah, sometimes you do your best for a plant and it still gets root rot. That's life. So yeah, I'll try and propagate it though. Would I try this plant again? Is that a mealybug? No. Would I try this plant again? Definitely I would try it again. I think I just got unlucky with this one for whatever reason. Not sure what happened, but it happened. So yep, I still really like it as a plant though. I think maybe repotting it might have been a good thing because it is in kind of a moisture retaining substrate, so maybe that's what did it. Sometimes repotting when you get a plant is a good idea because you can put it in something better draining, but I don't always do that. I'm not entirely sure, as I say, what happened with this one, but it is what it is, and yeah, I'll take a couple of cuttings and see what happens. I'll let you know if I manage to save it. Okay, the last plant today is going to be my Tradescantia Nanook. Now this one was huge and it grows really well in spring, summer, and it's very normal for it to need a bit of a chop back in winter. So I have chopped it back because you tend to get browning, well at least I do. They get leggy, they get brown, you have to chop them back. And I've given this one a chop back, but it's just looking rather ugly right now. And this one will probably grow, well I say probably, it will grow back in spring. It's just one of those plants that you have to reset every year and you have to go through this ugly phase. But I've always had a bit of a love-hate relationship with this plant. I keep on rebuying it and then getting rid of it, and I think this might be the last time that I go through that cycle, because this time round I think I'm just going to get rid of it and I'm not going to bother again. It is a really beautiful plant, and you know, when it's in its prime and it's looking beautiful, it's really nice, but I just feel like I've had enough now of Tradescantias. This is kind of the last straw. I keep going to them back. It's a push and pull thing with Tradescantias, and I think I've got to the end of the line, so to speak. I don't want to bother with them anymore, and that's okay. You know, we go through different phases with plant collecting, or at least I do. There are certain plants I'll get interested in for a while and then I'll kind of fall out of love with them. I think that's happened now with Tradescantias, and I'm going to leave them be. I think I might just bin this one and never bother with Tradescantias again. They're also an absolute nightmare if they get pests, because there are so many nooks and crannies. Luckily this one hasn't got pests, but I have had others that have got pests and it's almost impossible to control them. Really, these are ground cover plants, so they grow out all sprawling, so they're really good for outside. I mean, they are pretty invasive if you have them outside, so be aware of that. But they are ground cover plants, they're not really hanging plants, so they do tend to get messy very quickly because they sprawl out, because they really want to kind of cover the ground around them. And yeah, they just don't make great house plants because of that, and I know a lot of us kind of have a bit of a love-hate relationship with our Tradescantias because of that. But yeah, I think I'm done with Tradescantias. If I try to get into them again next year, remind me that I said this, okay? So that is going to complete today's video. I would love to know what's going wrong for you at the moment. Let's talk about it. Don't worry, we all fail, as I said at the beginning of the video. It's just one of those things. You just got to see it as a learning experience. That's what I do. That's how we learn, isn't it? We fail, we learn by our mistakes, and then we do better next time. So thanks for watching today, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.